gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh boy. I need to apologise to you fine folks, as 2 weeks ago I was bigging up the imminent release of Meg 2 The Trench, while simultaneously slaughtering the Black Demon for being awful. And now I feel like an idiot, as the Meg 2 was also a load of crap. In my defence, Meg 1 was actually alright 5 years ago, and what with Jason Statham reprising his role in Meg 2, I wasn't the only one duped on opening night, as the cinema was nearly full to watch this mess of a film. Spoiler warning as always for Meg 2 The Trench, so let's dive right in. Set 5 years after the events of the first film, Meg 2 kicks off with Jason Statham's character Jonas Taylor playing the role of action man and stopping environmental crimes such as the dumping of toxic waste into the ocean as a side hustle, whilst also helping the Mana 1 research team with the continued study of the Mariana Trench, and the Megalodons of course. Jason's partner Soo-Yin Sang has died off screen, and Jonas has been raising her daughter Mi-Yin, who is now a rebellious 14-year-old teen. Soo-Yin's brother Yoo-Min Sang is also co-parenting Mi-Yin with Jonas, and has taken control of his father's company and continued research of the trench. Taking a leaf out of Jurassic World, Yoo-Min has been training a juvenile megalodon that they found and captured to obey his commands, and the parallels between Jurassic Park World are heavy throughout this film. Speeding things along here, and the team head back down to the trench to continue their research on new species of animals and the geo-mapping of the trench itself. However, they aren't alone, as the captured juvenile Meg escapes his ocean pen and follows them through to the trench, where it mates with the alpha daddy of the Meg world. Jonas and the squad keep a low profile from the Megs and find an underwater base in the trench and get into a spot of bother when the villains of the film, who operate in that base, blow up part of the trench, causing a landslide and damaging Jonas and the team's submersibles beyond repair. The squad have to find a way to survive against not only a human threat, but a prehistoric threat as well, in the form of dinosaur-like creatures, the Megs, and a giant squid to get back to the surface. Unfortunately for them, the landslide has opened a large vent in the trench, and not only do they escape back to the surface, so do all the monsters. Jonas and the team have to once again stop them from causing havoc and save the day. So, my friends, that is essentially the plot in a nutshell. The problem here is the director can't seem to make his mind up on what he wants this film to be, making this one hell of a mess from start to finish. This film literally takes elements from Jaws, Alien, Sharknado, Jurassic Park and World, and it doesn't know if it wants to be an action film, comedy, horror, or outright self-aware parody, with the constant tonal shifts impacting on the overall quality of the product and enjoyment factor for the audience. At least the Black Demon kept things simple and had a direction, even if it was an awful film. One of the biggest issues with this film is surprisingly the lack of megalodons in it. For a film that has 3 Megs, they are absent for a large proportion of this film, whilst it shifts focus onto the human threat, but these villains are completely one-dimensional and forgettable. Honestly, they are completely pointless and the film would have been better without them. Even more surprising is the film is boring for large chunks, until the final act where the focus returns to the Megs and various other creatures. Speaking of the final act, thankfully it does a good job at redeeming the film from being a complete flop with over-the-top action and comedy as well as comical shark kills. It's just a shame the rest of the film wasn't like this, as I think the audience was expecting a low-stakes shark monster fest with goofy action, comedy and Jason Statham saving the day. The acting throughout is serviceable, and Jason Statham continues to carry the films as the hero. Special shout out to Paige Kennedy, who reprised his role as DJ, as he was hilarious throughout, definitely getting the most laughs from the cinema audience. Wu Yin also deserves a mention as charismatic newcomer to the franchise, Yoo-Min Sang. For reference, Wu Yin is a big deal in China, and don't be surprised to see box office numbers in China reflecting this. CGI and visuals throughout are on par with the Meg 1, and they do a good job with the sharks in particular, but the lighting during the walking trench scene is too dark and makes it difficult to see what is happening. This is a bit of a problem as the film spends a long time down in that trench. Most of the action scenes are well shot, but there are some close-up moments, particularly with the jet ski scenes, that just look awful on screen. In summary, the Meg 2 is a hot mess of a film, and although it has some redeemable qualities, It is surprisingly dull for large proportions of the film, and your time would be better spent rewatching Meg 1 instead. However, there are some laughs to be had, mostly thanks to Paige Kennedy, and some ridiculous shark action scattered throughout for you to enjoy. But this is one film that should have been left in the trench. Final score, 4 out of 10. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed Meg 2, or plan to watch it at the cinema. Are you looking forward to the inevitable sequel? And if you are new here, then welcome to the channel, and consider hitting the like button and subscribing for more TV and film content. A simple click of the button goes a long way, and helps with the growth of this channel and means the absolute world to me. Thank you to everyone already subscribed, and I will see you next time.